they talking real loud. Spreading no lie, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Got my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Rock and get us swilling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules in this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In the heart of the struggle, we dare to dream. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track.
Another Queen Ahmadiyyah production.
Haze on the corner, they talking real loud. Spreading no lie, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Got my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Rock and get us swilling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules in this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In the heart of the struggle, we dare to dream. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. Haze on the corner, they talking real loud. Spreading no lie, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Got my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Rock and get us swilling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams.
All right. Hello, everyone. Grand Rising. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah, and this is your morning wake-up call. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Okay, so let's get ready to get black into it. All right. Hello, Claudette. Brizzy is in the house. Okay. Andrea is here. Andrew is here. Jay Thomas, G from the land. All right, let's get into it. Just anticipate. All right. Deronda, I see you. 504 Nola is in the house. Hot Cocoa is here. All right. Shout out to all of my loyal royals and everyone tuning into the Queen. Okay, please hit that like button. Thank you in advance. All right, that crazy be Sherry's. Okay, and shout out to my moderators putting in work. All hell nah is in the house. All right. Okay, so before we get started, let's have a brief word from my sponsor at 12 Tribes.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
Okay, so don't forget you can purchase 12 Tribes hair oil at Etsy.com. Just look for Lisa Crafts. You can also find it at Walmart.com. Okay, and don't forget that she has a beard oil for the men. All right, so let's get into it. Let's get into it. First things first. Now we have the truth about what happened to Giovanni. Okay, so we're going to talk about that in a moment. But first, let's talk about Miss Tamar Braxton. Now, this is really concerning because Tamar has had a myriad of issues over the past few years. We know that she tried to take herself out one time a few years ago. She had to have a rib removed due to some medical issues she was having. She got sick when she was on Dancing with the Stars. She had, I believe, a pulmonary embolism or something like that. She had some sort of blood clots in her lungs and she had to have surgery. So she's had some health issues over the years. But now Tamar says that she was found in a pool of blood with a fractured nose and missing teeth. Okay, so let's get into it. This is very concerning. Tamar Braxton revealed that she woke up in a pool of blood after a mysterious near fatal accident left her with a fractured nose and missing teeth. She says, I struggle to write this, but everyone keeps calling me. And honestly, I can't even talk anymore. I'm so weak. Now, this is what she wrote in her Instagram stories on Tuesday. She says, I almost died Sunday. I was found in a pool of blood by my friend or from my friend with a face injury. And as the days go by, the worse it gets. I fractured my nose, lost some teeth and mobility. Okay, this is all very concerning. And she says the way I look at life now is totally different. And as my health is on the mend, my mental journey begins. Pray for me for real. I don't even know what happened to me. Now, that's what's the most concerning part of it. She does not know what happened to her. She has no recollection, which leads me to think that maybe perhaps she passed out. Maybe she passed out and fell on her face. I don't know. But this sounds very concerning. Okay. Measure Man says she does not know. That's what she's saying, beloved. And Measure Man, by the way, thank you for the very nice cash app that you sent me, beloved. I appreciate you. Okay, so it says in additional Instagram stories, Braxton shared a post that read, Thank you, God, for waking me up today. She also shared a photo of the Bible verse, Proverbs 31. She also promoted a new pre recorded episode of her series, Caught in the Act, which will be released on MTV Tuesday night. Now, the reality star has previously detailed health scares, including when she was taken to the hospital via an ambulance in December of 2022 after experiencing flu like symptoms and needing oxygen. She says, I thought God was taking me home because I could not breathe and my chest was on fire. This is what she wrote on social media. Braxton shared that she had the flu and was prescribed 5 different medications. She described it as worse than COVID, in her opinion. Now, in June of 2021, she got candid about her mental health struggles and a 2020 suicide attempt during an interview with People. She says, at that time of my life, it was so dark, so heavy. I didn't see how I was going to come out on the other side. I didn't even know that there was another side, but I chose to change my life. Most people think, oh, she went to a hospital. I'm sorry, oh, she went to a hotel. Probably took a bunch of rugs with a D, was on a bench. It didn't happen like that. It was just everyday life, trying to figure out how to get through the day. And then at the time, she was home with her son Logan, who's now 11, and then boyfriend David Adefeso, who found her unresponsive. Braxton also touched on how she was sexually assaulted as a child. Braxton is currently single and was last linked to her ex-fiance, Jeremy J.R. Robinson, whom she was engaged to twice. Now, the exes first got engaged in March of 2023 before briefly splitting and then reconciling that year. It's unclear when Robinson and Braxton called it quits, but she revealed in March that she had been celibate for about a year and wouldn't date until her son Logan turns 18. Saying, there's no way I'm going to bring another man in his life to be unsuccessful. There's no way. She says, I just want to mentally protect him as much as I can. I don't want to give him any abandonment issues or anything like that. Now, the musician shares Logan with her ex-husband, Vincent Herbert, with whom she was wed from 2008 to 2019. She was also married to Daryl Delight Alambi from 2001 to 2003. Okay, so I don't know what is going on with Tamar. Stress can absolutely take you up out of here. Okay, stress can take you up out of here. Now, I don't know if stress is what caused it, but it sounds to me like she may have fallen out Did she have low blood sugar? I don't know. But she needs to probably, if she hasn't already, have a series of tests done because that sounds real serious. Okay. Measurement says people don't understand mental health. Things like that happens. Yeah, absolutely. Lillian said too young to have all these health issues. Well, like I said, stress can bring about health issues. And when you think about the word disease, that's literally what it means. It's stress, dis-ease, that you can't be at ease. And when you can't, that's when you're stressed and worried about things. And Tamar is a Pisces. And I know that Pisces are overly sensitive because I'm one. Sometimes we can be overly sensitive. We can worry about things. We can read too much into things. And, with her love life, always being, just something that causes her stress, I would think. All the things that she's going through. And then probably she's still holding on to some childhood trauma from the S assault that happened to her. So this is all very sad. I hope that she, is successful on her healing journey. And I think that she needs some therapy. I don't know if she's had any, but I think that would absolutely help. Duranda said, indeed, it can, Queen. Stress caused me to lose 75 pounds several years ago. Are you serious? Wow. Yeah, it absolutely can take. I mean, listen, people have heart attacks, strokes, and all sorts of things, end up in hypertensive crisis, and all of that because of stress. Okay? They absolutely do. I don't know why she fell out. Nessa G says Tamar was partying with Funky Dineva, and he said they were dropped off at her home. He went home and didn't hear from her until the next day. That's interesting. I didn't know that, beloved. So thank you for that information. Tamar is on rugs. Leave the rugs alone. Okay, says Tekoa Israel. Really, I don't know if she's on illegal substances. If she is, this would definitely be a wake-up call, I would say. Okay, Measurement said, I'm a Pisces. I am told to log off at times for weeks. LOL. So when y'all see I am MIA, my kids and employees see me and tell me to log off. Measurement, I know that's right. Listen, you absolutely have to every now and then, okay? Thank you for that tidbit of information, beloved, and your contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings. Shout out to all the Pisces in the house. Okay, shout out to all the Pisces in the house. But at the end of the day, I hope she gets through this. Like I said, she probably needs some counseling and whatever. And this is all concerning because she has a son to live for and to be healthy for. That's why I was very shocked when she tried to take herself out. But at the time, she said that she didn't feel like, that he deserved her or like she was good for him, which is really sad. Okay, Robert says she has a delayed reaction. Okay, so with that all being said, moving right along to the next story. Now, this is so crazy to me because the first thing I was thinking was this has something to do with snitching. Okay, so Tekashi 69's girlfriend. Now, some people said she's his best friend, but in the reports that I found, they're all calling her his girlfriend. And so this young woman was targeted, according to police, and she was found deceased in a car, which I find very interesting. Okay, so let's talk about it. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. So here's what they report from the Daily Mail. Ariella Lalagosta. They say Tekashi 69 is grieving the shocking death of his longtime friend Ariella Lalancosta Mejia-Polanco, who was gunned down in New York over the weekend. She was only 33 years old. Authorities confirmed the social media star and Dominican fashion influencer was discovered in the driver's seat of her car on the Cross County Parkway in Westchester about 8 a.m. on Sunday. Police said that she was pop-ups. Police said that she had been shot multiple times and believes that she was targeted for violence, stressing that the killing did not appear to be random. Now, they say the case is still under active investigation. They say the rapper took to Instagram on Monday to post a series of emotional tributes, sharing personal clips with Ariella and calling her a tremendous woman that he considered like a sister. Okay, so clearly she was his friend. Now, with that all being said, they say she was, New York won't ever be the same. I loved you. They said she had built a following of more than 550,000 on Instagram and previously appeared as a dancer in his 2023 music video for WAPE. Now, in the wake of her death, Ariella's workplace, Icon Restaurant and Lounge in New York, also honored her memory, describing her as a shining star. They said, "Thank you for giving so much love and support to our home, who also became yours." Now, to Ariella's family, we are here for anything you need. We still can't believe it. You were our smile, our happiness. We love you and will miss you forever. In the wake of Ariella's death, the restaurant announced that it would close temporarily as a sign of respect to her. Ariella's loss has sent shockwaves through the New York's nightlife community. She was a brilliant, humble, and beautiful soul with incredible energy, the kind of person who could light up any room that she entered. That's what someone wrote on Instagram. She will be deeply missed by all of us. Please take a moment to cherish and love your loved ones. Life is precious. Now, the Queens-based lounge starlet of New York also expressed its sorrow over her passing, said in a statement, the venue said its staffers were deeply saddened by the loss. She was a one-of-a-kind soul, a beautiful friend, loving mother and daughter, whose smile and energy lit up every room she entered. Her energy will forever be missed, but her spirit will always live with us. So this is all very sad. Now, they say this woman was found in the driver's seat, shot multiple times. Definitely sounds like she was targeted. Now, once in the chat, if you all think, because at this point we can only speculate, okay? They haven't given up all of the details as of yet. But once in the chat, if you all think that this had anything to do with Tekashi snitching or any of the stuff that he's been doing out here in these streets. Okay? Because I absolutely think. Hold on, I'm trying to find the news report. Songwriter Sunny says, I live in direct center of the Bronx. Violence doesn't appear randomly. Well, they definitely said this was targeted. Hold on, beloveds. Okay, I'm going to the news report.
Police have identified the woman found brutally murdered on the Cross County Parkway. The nightlife influencer was found dead behind the wheel. She'd been shot multiple times on her way home from work. Now police are searching for whoever pulled the trigger, and they're trying to figure out why. Eyewitness News reporter Anthony Carlo is live in Inwood with more. Anthony?
Yeah, Sandra, there's quite a memorial outside of Opus Lounge here where Ariella Mejia-Polanco worked for several years. A woman just walked up and lit a candle, tells us that she worked alongside her, and she describes Ariella as always being happy. Well, it's the exact opposite now that the nightlife community is feeling. And even though police say this killing was likely targeted, well, those who worked alongside Ariella are now in fear until this killer is caught. There's no small way to say goodbye to someone who was larger than nightlife. Her name spelled out across a floral heart, a big portrait on West 202nd Street, right next to Opus Lounge, one of the spots she worked at. There's only one way people describe Ariella Mejia-Polanco.
She's beautiful. She was beautiful. Pretty.
Known as Ariella La Langosta on social media, it's that kind of admiration that attracted more than 500,000 followers. Her notoriety as an influencer naturally brought about shock with her death, especially in her community. Cardi B posting, R.I.P. Dominican Pretty.
That's what it really hurts, Dominican, very beautiful. Such a thing like this, very, very sad.
It was Sunday morning at around 8 o'clock. Westchester County Police showed up to a grisly scene on the Cross County Parkway near the Broad Street Mount Vernon exit. Mejia-Polanco was found dead behind the wheel of her G-Wagon, shot multiple times. She was headed home from work at Icon New York in Inwood. The lounge writing in part, "Our hearts are broken. Your joy, your humility, and the way you treated everyone with so much care always made you stand out." Police are investigating this as a targeted killing, not random, but investigators are trying to figure out who wanted the influencer dead and why. Mejia-Polanco's family tells us the 33-year-old was a great daughter and mother who leaves behind two children, ages 13 and 14.
I have a child too, and it's very heartbreaking to see these things.
Kind of frightening, though.
Yeah, it's very frightening. It is.
And again, that is what we've been hearing from many of the people we've spoken with. In fact, I have to stress that several of them were too afraid to go on camera because of the manner and the circumstances that in which Ariella was killed. There have been no arrests at this point, as police again still search for the killer and also to identify a motive. Opus Lounge, where she worked for several years, releasing a statement saying in part that nightlife here in New York City has lost an angel. We're live in Inwood. Anthony Carlo, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
I took control.
That's very sad. That is very sad. Prayers and condolences to her family, friends, and loved ones. At the end of the day, they're saying it's targeted. And I just wonder why. Did she have any enemies? Was somebody after her? Okay. And then someone said that a lot of these influencers are being targeted. There have been quite a few influencers that have passed away lately, it seems. Okay. Do you all remember the influencer and his wife who got killed in Vegas recently by another influencer on YouTube? Because they had been beefing for about a year, and then he showed his location when he's doing a video, and the guy came and shot him and his wife. It's all crazy. It is all crazy, okay? Mel says, this is terrible. You can't even drive in your vehicle without being targeted. Okay? Very sad. Miss Sheila said, no one anticipates when they walk outside that they will never return home. Exactly. Exactly. Well, like I said, prayers and condolences to her friends, family, and loved ones. And someone said I forgot who said it, but someone said they're surprised Tekashi hasn't been taken out. Yeah, I am too. But if you notice, since he snitched, he's had a myriad of bad things happen to him. Do y'all remember when he got jumped in that restroom and he was all bloody and beaten down? Do y'all remember that? What about that day he was walking and someone just punched him in his face? I mean, it's like, and then somebody told him, they told him he shouldn't have snitched. Okay, so he's out here getting repercussions, honey. And I'm just wondering if that had anything to do with it. I don't know. Now, someone said Tekashi brought her that G-Wagon. Yeah, he did. I believe it was in 2019, 2018, or somewhere around there. I remember that being posted, that he bought her a Mercedes G-Wagon. Okay, so anyway, very sad story. But now, before we get into Giovanni, let me show you all a few more receipts on Mr. T. Hood. Because his family is getting called out left and right, okay? His family is getting called out left and right. I want you all to pay attention. Hold on. We must always leave home on good terms. Exactly. Exactly, because you never know if you're going to make it back, okay? Now, I'm going to this video. By Lakeisha Keisha, and shout out to her because she has the receipts. I'm going to go to it. And the police report didn't even have much on it. There was not much on that police report at all. Okay, I've never seen a police report so scarce. That's all I'm saying. Hold on. Hold on, beloved. Let me make sure I'm going to the right video. And also, by the way, people have said that he had a gun in his hand. I don't know if you all heard that, but they said that he had a gun in his hand. They said the neighbors are saying this. Okay, now if this is all true, he definitely is not going to get any consequences. Or Kai isn't. Definitely not going to get any consequences because that would definitely make it self-defense. And as far as him being shot 7 times and 5 times in the back, I don't even know if that's true because the family is the only one that I've heard saying that. It definitely was not in the police report at the end of the day. So I don't know. But hold on. I'm gonna share my screen. And shout out to Lakeisha Keisha.
Text message that Kate was saying,
Hold on. Let me put an overlay on this.
listen, he has to go. He's being abusive. So while the family is going to tell y'all that they don't know anything about him being abusive, she was on a text message from Kay saying, this dude is putting his hands on me. Now the family going to tell y'all that didn't happen, but that is a lie.
The mother was talking about was, okay, thank you. Now, as y'all see, after the mother sit there and say, okay, thank you, Kay at the end of the thing talk about something nobody is trying to help her when it comes to his daggone abuse. Nobody.
In that text message, what did Kay Frost say? It's right here. She says, your son is putting his hands on me. Can you have someone send an Uber for his belongings? He's not going to be able to come back here anymore. And I would like to Uber the stuff to y'all while he's on the way. What if the mom says, okay, thanks?
Now, just like I told you all days ago, by the fact that the mother, after hearing all of that or getting all of that in the text from Kelsey, she just said, okay, thanks. She didn't care. And that's why she can't sit there and pretend that she didn't know her son was violent. Okay? She cannot sit there and act like, oh, but we can't say that because we don't know if that's true or not. Isn't that what she said? That's exactly what she said. She knew darn well he was violent. Okay. And then she saw those videos and stuff that came out, and then they kept trying to say those are old, that's old, or whatever. The pictures are old. It does not matter if it's old or not. It just further proves that he is violent, that he has a history of being violent. And remember, the paperwork that I showed you all yesterday where he was arrested for family violence, that was in 2014. This young lady on this TikTok video that Lakeisha's about to show, she has one from 2013. Okay. And he was young back then. He's like 33 when he died. So he was like in his 20s then. Okay. At the end of the day, he has a history of violence and his family knows it. They can miss me with all the cap.
Tried to help her. Nobody was trying to help her as much as she basically was sitting here crying out for freaking help.
In that message, what does Kay say? Nobody is helping me when it comes to the domestic stuff. So the family was not even helping her either. She has the proof.
This is such a sad situation, y'all. Because all this time I'm sitting here thinking that her brother Kai was really in the wrong. I mean, granted, yes, he is, because you shouldn't have unalived that daggone boy. And I'm gonna be real with y'all. In my last video, I said that I'm in contact, y'all, with a close family member. And I really can't say too much because things are supposed to be coming out at the beginning of next week about this story, okay? But what I will say is I have the real story now. I already said in my last video, if y'all have not watched it, y'all need to go watch it. Because I have already said how Kai pulled up from getting off work, that Kai lived in that household. Kai was not called by his sister. He lived in the household. So it was no.
The lies about Kai being called by his sister, that was such a lie. All of this information that this family has put out here, it seems like they're trying to get GoFundMe money. Although, you know, these people lie so much, they said Rashida and Kurt said that they would pay for it. They turned it down. But yet you are still hustling GoFundMe money. But they said, well, at least the mother said in her interview, she didn't need it. She's straight.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about
it. For her to have to call her brother because he already came home from work when the altercation was happening. And it wasn't just no slight freaking altercation. No, if y'all seen in his videos, if y'all seen that video, this man freaking was bowing her and her daggone self.
Oh, and let me say this too. Remember when I was reading the report from TMZ and they said that they said that the person who shot him had removed himself from the scene. And then they said something about they had removed themselves from the scene or whatever. And I said, what are they talking about? I forgot how it was worded, but it basically made let us know that he had left or whatever. So I felt like, how does that even make sense? If he removed himself from the scene, was that before or after he shot him? Well, anyway, supposedly Kai had gone to work. Okay, Kai had left the house. I guess they were arguing or whatever. Kelsey and T Hood, and then Kai removed himself, separated himself from it, and then left. And then later on, when he came back home, and he was supposedly in the residence, that's when he heard his sister screaming or whatever. And they're also saying that neighbors and other people, like I told you guys, said that this dude had a gun. Okay. Now, like I said, I don't know if the police, I don't know because the police have not said that. They're being pretty tight-lipped about the whole thing, in my opinion. But at the end of the day, this is what they're saying neighbors said. So, and it did happen outside, supposedly. Okay, so very likely that the neighbors did see. And also there could be some camera footage from someone's Ring door cam.
That if it's like, please, like, this situation is just sad. This is just more evidence basically showing that his mom, T Hood mom, knew what was going on, y'all. She knew that her son was putting his hands on K Frost. The sisters knew. And for them sisters to sit here and constantly taking up for their brother on his dad on internet after he was sitting here abusing women, and I'm saying abusing women because this has been going on since this boy was young. Let's put up the daggone police records of him that my supporters freaking sent me. 3rd degree of a child, battery, family violence. All of these charges from 2014, y'all.
Now, this is why I'm showing this video, because this young lady doing the TikTok, I actually had pulled up the TikTok. I was trying to show it to you guys, but it was asking me to log in and all of that foolishness. But so anyway, that's why I went to this video. But she actually has more police reports on him, not just the one that I showed you. So right here, it says cruelty to children, 3rd degree. Okay, and this was December the 23rd of 2013. And then it says arrest date, May the 11th of 2014. DeKalb County Police Department. Okay. Cash or surety bond, I guess. He bonded out. So cruelty to children in the 3rd degree.
They knew that.
This is what I was telling y'all. Cruelty to children, 3rd degree. What in the world is that? So this is from 2013. We are in 2025. So the family is going to tell you that they knew nothing about this. Do y'all not see this? Cruelty to children. It says children. It doesn't even say cruelty to a child. Children means it was at least 2, could have been more. So this is a guy that they say has never put his hands on women. It seems like he's doing some things to not only just women, but maybe children as well.
This daggone boy.
That doesn't mean that he did anything to the children. When you get charged with cruelty to children in the 3rd degree, what that usually means is that the person that's charged with that was the aggressor in some sort of violent act. Okay, that's what that means, at least here in Georgia. Okay, it's like when a person is doing something intentionally and they're the primary aggressor and they're doing this in front of children, and it's usually domestic or family violence or some sort of battery or whatever. Okay, so that's what that means. Doesn't necessarily mean that he put hands on the children, but he definitely was putting hands on somebody.
He was not wrapped too tight in the head. This has been going.
Look at this. The family didn't know about this, but it clearly says battery family violence is what it says. This says 2014. That's what, like 11 years ago?
Now that's the paperwork that I showed you guys.
So they didn't know about this either. These people are lying. They're liars.
Going on since 11 years ago. Like, so y'all sitting on this internet, his family is trying to sit on this internet like he has not been having problems since 11 years ago. Y'all trying to sit on this internet, oh, it was a toxic relationship. No, it basically shows that he has been the toxic one. And did y'all know in April, when he freaking first got pew-pewed from a whole nother incident, it was because he put his hands on a woman? Oh, okay. I'm gonna come back because y'all already know I'm coming back with a daggone another part because it's just so much when it comes to this story. And the same way I sat here and was going on the daggone Frost family, oh, now it's time to go on daggone the Hood family. Because at the end of the day, listen, y'all not about to sit here and play on this daggone internet as if daggone K Frost and as I was doing in the beginning, acting like it was all on the daggone Frost family. No, we're not about to do that. If y'all watch this whole video through, make.
Hi, I'm Sage Robbins.
Okay, so that all being said, I just wanted you all to see those other receipts that they had on him. And like I said, she also showed the police report, and there was absolutely nothing in the police report, basically. I've never seen a police report so, with so few details, okay? And here's the thing, the family lied so much. I mean, they just put out so much misinformation. I don't know if they were doing that for people to feel sorry for them for the GoFundMe, or just basically, I do believe that most of it, of course, was to paint Kelsey as the aggressor or to make her seem like she was at fault. And them spinning the whole narrative, acting as though Kirk and Rashida may not have cared for him because of his relationship with Kai. That was not it. It was because of Kelsey. And then when they sat there and pretended that they didn't know why he got shot in April at Glenwood Day, they knew why, because he was beating the crap out of Vanessa. And that's why when Vanessa was supposed to do that interview with Ratchet TV, she likely canceled because of them. And then they were telling Ratchet that, oh, she's on her way over here. Like they didn't want her to talk to him until she was around them in their company, because they likely were going to coach her on what to say. So anyway, this is all crazy. But now let's get into it. Let's talk about what happened, the real story of what happened to Giovanni Pelletier, or Pelletier, I'm sorry. Very sad. And I really feel so bad for his mom. So this is the press conference where they show what actually happened, because they have some footage, okay, that they've come across because there were cameras out there. Okay, 555 says this is so tragic for both families. Absolutely, absolutely. But you know, for the T Hood's family, it's hard to feel sympathy and empathy for them because they're such liars. And the funny thing is, they're sitting up here. They want people to feel sorry for them, and they keep screaming about justice when they know darn well what this man was doing. And then the same way they want some get back, well, you know, the same way they want his death avenged, they want justice or whatever. Well, what do they think Kelsey's family wanted? Okay, do they think they're mad because somebody killed him, because somebody hurt him and took his life? Well, how do you think Kai felt when he saw him attacking his sister? Okay, likely for the umpteenth time. All right. Just anticipate, say, yeah, Ratchet would have dragged it out of her. Okay. He was asking some very good questions. Okay, here we go. This is the press conference. Now, keep in mind, there were two different counties of police that were supposedly looking into Giovanni's death because they had crossed over county lines. Okay. Okay, here we go.
I'm here to get an update on the Giovanni Pelletier case death investigation. But before I get started, I do want to say that our prayers continue to go out to Bridget, the mother of Giovanni, and the entire family as they struggle during this very difficult time. And we pray that blessings are bestowed upon them, and we're here to hopefully give them some information that will give them closure at some point. Before I get to where we're at in the investigation currently, I think it's important to go back and start from the beginning. So on Thursday, July 31st, there's communications between Giovanni and his cousin, Latrell Hearn, about Latrell picking up Giovanni, who's in Charlotte County, and taking him back to Brevard County, where Latrell lives. They're trying to figure out the details. At 5:41 p.m., Latrell texts that he's going to have to use his grandmother's car, which is a white Malibu. At 8:30, they're still texting each other. They text about smoking weed. Giovanni says, I haven't had a smoke in a while because of court stuff going on in North Carolina. And he goes on to say, I definitely need a smoke. At 10:08 p.m., Latrell, Jalen Washington, and Zachary Cummings start heading toward Charlotte County. Zach Cummings is the driver of the white Malibu at the time. During interviews, Latrell tells detectives that not long into the drive, they start smoking weed in the car, and Giovanni starts tripping. They stop the car at an unknown location along River Road before they got to I-75 because Giovanni needed to use the bathroom. Luttrell says that Giovanni is acting out and raging before getting back into the car. They continue driving north on I-75, and at this point, they're about 26 miles away of State Road 70. At 1:55 a.m., Giovanni sends his mother a text saying help. At 1:56 a.m., he sends another message that says help, followed by me. Jalen says Giovanni was tripping, telling them I am a demon and I will wreck this car, and says he will kill them all as he tries to open up the door while the car is still moving. This happens while they're in Manatee County, close to State Road 70. Zachary, the driver, pulls the car over onto the side of the road on the shoulder, the northbound I-75 on the east shoulder of State Road 70. Jalen and Zach are in the front seats, and they hear that Giovanni has a knife. And we know that he always carried a knife. He had two knives. He had a folding pocket knife, and he had a blade, but this knife was still in the sheath, never took it out. They said that Giovanni gets out of the car and begins running southbound in the southbound lanes of I-75. They see him in the middle of the northbound lanes and almost get hit by a truck. This is the last time they see him. He left behind his backpack and cell phone, so they took that and placed it onto the side of State Road or I-75 at State Road 70 at the entrance ramp on the east side. At 2:26 a.m., Luttrell calls his grandfather to let the grandfather know that Giovanni got out of the car. At 2:27, Luttrell calls Bridget, Giovanni's mother, but there's no answer. We know that they continue northbound on I-75. We have them stopping at the Flying J truck stop in Hillsborough County off the I-4, and you can tell by their phones that they eventually make it home to Brevard County. At approximately 6:50 a.m., Luttrell calls Bridget again. She answers, and he gives her the information on what transpired that night. At 7:13, Bridget calls the Mejia-Polanco Sheriff's Office to look for Giovanni on I-75. She says, from the 911 call that we collected, I received some missed calls from my son this morning. He was being picked up by a relative, and I was told that they left him on the side of the highway, that there was some type of an altercation and a knife was involved. She asked if a deputy could do a wellness check and make sure that he's okay. The dispatcher responds, you mentioned a possible altercation, but can you tell me again exactly what happened? She states, so I'm getting this from people who were there. He said they were in the car, and I guess they had given my son some weed, and my son doesn't normally do any drugs. I guess they had given him some weed, and then he started to freak out and said he wanted to get out of the car. And they were like, hey, just calm down, thinking maybe it was the drugs he was taking. They kept saying, calm down and everything will be okay. And then I guess he got out of the car to go to the bathroom, and that's when I received the text saying, Mom, help, in that time frame, she said. And then he said that he continued to freak out and didn't know what was going on. They left him behind on I-75. Bridget is heading northbound on I-75 to try to locate her son. A deputy responds to that area, but finds no pedestrian on the interstate. At 7:21, a truck driver who was checking the load on his truck, it's a sod truck, pulls off in that same area on the east side of I-75, northbound, sees the backpack, picks it up. He travels to Tampa with the backpack. Bridget sees that the phone is moving, but does not know that it's a truck driver that actually has the bag and has the phone. She eventually calls Tampa PD, and an officer responds to the area where the truck driver was doing some work, recovers the cell phone and the bag. This is about 9:21 when TPD recovers the phone and the bag. At 9:28, Charlotte County Sheriff's Office opened a missing person case. And we also learned that Charlotte County reached out to Brevard County Sheriff's Office, and they were instrumental in interviewing all the passengers in the vehicle and as this investigation unfolded. They voluntarily give Brevard County the vehicle, the white Malibu that they were in. Brevard County processes the vehicle and finds no foul play, no blood, nothing, no evidence whatsoever inside that vehicle. Charlotte County reaches out to us once again to check to see if Giovanni had been admitted to any hospitals or possibly was arrested. And there was no sign of Giovanni in our system. On Monday, August 4th, Charlotte County requests the assistance of the Mejia County Sheriff's Office as they search the area that the trail says they dropped off Giovanni on I-75. They do an extensive search east of the interstate in wooded areas on both sides of State Road 70 and find nothing. On Tuesday, August 5th, Charlotte County comes back to Manatee County along with a volunteer team that have good cadaver dogs. Also, the Charlotte County Aviation Unit was flying overhead. We had 3 of our detectives assisting them with searching the areas that they wanted to search that day. After about 4.5 hours, they told our detectives that they're not really sure that Giovanni is in this area. Now, why is that important? We know that he got out of the car on River Road before he got onto I-75. So as investigators, they're starting to think maybe he never made it to State Road 70. Now, I can't speak for the Charlotte County detectives. I can't speak for Sheriff Promell, but they know the backpack was there, but there's no sighting of Giovanni in that area at this time. So Charlotte County is still searching, and they're searching hard in the area of River Road and I-75. But we know that that's not where he was at. On Friday, August 8th, at about 3:15 p.m., Mejia County Sheriff's Office receives a call about a body located in a pond right off of I-75 at the exit ramp to State Road 70. We learned that a friend of the family had been searching the area and had located the body. I sent my entire homicide team out there along with their sergeant, lieutenant, captain, and major to process this scene. The medical examiner investigator also responds to help with the processing of the body. We do a deep X-ray, a scan of the body. The ME does that night. There's no signs of any trauma to the body. There's no indication that he was shot. There's no indication that he was stabbed. There's nothing at that time that helps us determine cause of death. On Saturday, August 9th, detectives and crime scene techs go back out to the scene. They conduct another thorough investigation of the area, search of the area. Our drone unit also flew over the pond and the surrounding area, but didn't find anything of any value. On Sunday, the District 12 medical examiner performed an autopsy of the body. Preliminary indication was no signs of trauma or foul play, but the cause of death is still undetermined. On August 11th, my dive team goes back out to the pond to search it once again to make sure that we did not miss anything in the initial searches. They find nothing. we're trying to pinpoint exactly where Giovanni got out of the car. That's our main focus. My detectives reach out to Brevard County, who help us reach out to Giovanni's cousin, Jalen, Latrell, and Zach, and we request that they interview again with us. They do so freely. We respond to Brevard County and we interview the three. They give us the exact same story that they gave Brevard County. They also agreed to come back to Manatee County to help us pinpoint exactly where they pulled off the side of the road and where Giovanni got out of the car. So that brings us to today. We started reviewing all of the FDOT cameras in the area. This is complicated at times because these cameras, they will move at certain parts of the day. They're not always focused on one particular area. So we started to do our best to locate any movement whatsoever that would give us an indication that Giovanni was alive at that time. And we found Giovanni at about 2:18 a.m. on the night in question on I-75. And we want to show that video now. It's difficult to see at first, so bear with us.
Sir.
Yep. This is the 44th Avenue camera located about 1.2 miles north of State Road 70. Right here, it's hard to tell, but you can see some movement over here on these are the southbound lanes. He's coming across right here. You see a truck having to get out of the way. He'll clear up a little bit here in a second. He has on a white shirt. You can see him coming across. Here's the truck trying to avoid hitting him. You can point him out right here. He's coming eastbound now. He's walking back westbound. And there's a concrete barrier right here. And down here is where the pond is. So then we continue to check cameras. And we get lucky at a Lowe's, which is located on the west side of State Road 70. We have a camera that's pointing at the embankment now that he comes down at 2:19 a.m. Play that, Ben. I want you to stay focused right here. Now that's a steep embankment. It's coming down there almost an uncontrollable sprint. If you've ever gone down a hill, you know what I'm talking about. But the pond is right here at the edge of that embankment. I mean, the important thing that I want you to see, there's no one chasing him. There's no one around him. In fact, when he's coming down that embankment, the vehicle is 2 miles away. So there's no one in this area with Giovanni. There's no one that's chasing him. He's by himself. Now, what we don't know is what happened when he hit that pond. I don't know. I'm not going to speculate. The death is undetermined. So we know that we don't have anyone that comes down that embankment after him. They don't look for him. He's there, we believe, until he was located by the family friend on Friday, the 8th. We really don't know what happened once he got into the pond. And once again, I think anything that I say would be pure speculation. We're still waiting for the ME to determine the cause of death, and we're also still waiting for the toxicology. So we don't have all the answers. We know this is the last sighting of him that night. Do you have any questions? Anything you want to ask?
Has the family reviewed this footage and the timeline and everything?
I think Bridget just is here now. I think that, I don't know if she's reviewed the video. I know the detectives were on their way, but she's here. She's here now.
Sheriff Wells, could you remind me again, were all three individuals in the car, are they all cousins of Giovanni?
No, I know Latrell is a cousin, and I think that Zach is definitely not, and I think that Jalen's just a good friend.
Okay, so Zach and Jalen are good friends.
Yeah.
Was the driver of the car, was he under the influence?
Not that we know of.
Okay.
We have no indication of that.
Okay. Sheriff, can you talk about, we know that Charlotte County was the lead investigative agency in this. How hard is that when Atlantic County was just a stop and we don't know at that point so early on what was actually?
Yeah, I mean, our detectives were working with them, and Charlotte County was keeping us up to date. And, you know, we searched with them on that, on the 4th and the 5th. A lot of time was spent on the east side. And even though the helicopter was flying the entire area, you know, they were really focused on that east side. And it's heavily wooded, it's wet. And they believe that that's where he would have gone. And we have no reason to dispute that. And I think that, you know, they did exactly what we would do. They're searching. They know that River Road is also, because when they're searching in Manatee, they're also searching River Road. So they're parallel. Everybody's searching in both areas, because those are the two areas of concern.
Sheriff, you mentioned that there were possibly drugs involved. Were those drugs that are found and tested for anything else?
When the vehicle was processed by Brevard, there was still some marijuana residue in there. I don't know if they analyzed that or not.
Sheriff, so at this point, is anyone charged with anything?
No.
Could anyone be charged given that drugs were involved?
We don't have any way of proving who smoked what. We don't know who was smoking in their car. So I would say no. I mean, really the focus right now is to see what comes back from toxicology. Is there going to be something that alerts us to another drug that we don't know about? Any more questions? Yes.
I know you said you didn't want to speculate, but is the thinking maybe it was some kind of different weed, synthetic marijuana, he had a bad reaction, became paranoid, and then accidentally, stumbled down the hill and drowned?
Well, I don't want to speculate because I don't think that's fair to the family. I don't know what happened. So I want to wait for the toxicology report to come back to see if there was something in there that's alarming that points to something more that we need to investigate.
Can you talk about, too, I know we as reporters know, but can you tell the public just how long the toxicology report can take?
I mean, sometimes they can take up to 2 months or longer. I mean, we are asking them to rush it, and we would like to get them back sooner than later. I just don't know how long that's going to take.
I know there was some concern that because of the conditions provided to the pandemic for so long, that the toxicology report might not be complete, or they might not be able to get a full picture. Is that still the thinking, or?
I know that they were able to get a sample. I don't know how good that sample is going to be, but they did get a sample and they sent that off to be analyzed. Anything else?
One more.
Yep.
Is it possible he got clipped by the vehicle and maybe it doesn't show that, but he was hurt and then went down the hill?
We can only go by the medical examiner's report that it doesn't indicate that there were any injuries to the body. I mean, we know he was very close to being hit, a couple of times, but we didn't see any trauma to the body, and I don't think the ME did as well.
Thank you.
And it sounds like with this, just from hearing you talk and from hearing other stuff from Charlotte County Sheriff's Office or Brevard County Sheriff's Office, those in Brevard have been fully cooperative.
They were very cooperative with Brevard and with us, and like I said, they came back to Manatee County on their own to help us pinpoint where they pulled off on the side of I-75.
There's been a lot of speculation online, change.org petition. Are you hoping that this timeline, this video, will sort of quash any rumors out there in terms of what might have actually happened or calls for outside agencies to get involved in the investigation?
Listen, we work for the family. Our job is to give them the information on what we believe happened. I don't focus on outside interference. If anyone else wants to review this case, they can do so. Anything else? All right, thank y'all.
Okay, so what do you all think about that? That is absolutely crazy. You know what the thing is? I believe that they put something in that weed that they gave him. I think they put something in there. Okay? That's the only thing that makes sense. Miss Sheila said these cousins did not use wisdom here. No, they didn't, because why would you just leave him there to fend for himself? Now, they probably had laced it with something. Okay, that's what it sounds like. It doesn't sound like it was just some regular weed. Sounds like they put something extra in there. And also, the reason I feel that they didn't call the police is because they had illegal substances on them. And also because of what they had given him. Okay? I think that's exactly what it was. And then they just came and dropped his backpack off on the side of the road. This is all crazy. But think about what he said. He said, I'm a demon and I'll kill everybody in this car. And then pulls out a knife. Now that sounds scary as I don't know what. And for those of you who don't know, it has been reported, okay, that people who engage in the use of illegal substances absolutely can become demonically possessed. That draws demons. Okay, I don't know how spiritual some of you are, but absolutely, I believe that can happen. And that's likely what did happen. Okay, but I think it was a whole lot more than just weed. All right? Mel said you can't smoke weed from anyone. No, you can't, because you don't know what they put in there. It could have been some fentanyl in there. I mean, it could have been anything. You know what I'm saying? LSD, who knows? This is just a very sad and unfortunate thing. And I tell you what, his mother is likely still blaming herself, and I hope she gets past this. But his mother is likely still blaming herself because she didn't answer his phone calls or his text. And it's absolutely not her fault. This is so sad. At the end of the day, so this is what happened. I mean, they had the video footage and everything. Sheila said they had to lace it, but the cousins did smoke it. The cousins knew. Well, of course they knew. Yeah, they knew it was laced. Absolutely. Now the thing is, had they smoked it at that point in time, I don't know. Maybe they gave it to him because they said that he was talking about he hadn't smoked some in a minute. I don't know. Maybe he was the first one to smoke it. I don't know if they had smoked it as well. Maybe they had, and maybe that's also why they didn't want to call the police. Okay. Anyway, just very unfortunate. Prayers and condolences to the family. At least now we know what happened. Okay. Terry said the mother will need therapy. Yeah, I absolutely do. I do believe so because this is very traumatizing. I can imagine. Miss Sheila said illegal substance and drunkenness open up your spirit. Absolutely. And that's why they call alcohol, they call some liquor stores or whatever, they call it spirits, like spirit store, where they talk about where they sell spirits and all of that. That's why. Okay. And if you know anything about demons, there's a demon the Arabic word for it is alcohol, which is where they say they got the word alcohol from. Okay, and that's why they talk about spirits and refer to alcohol as spirits, because it absolutely can make you take on malevolent spirits. Okay, and so can illegal substances. All right, so all very sad. Oh, very sad indeed. Now, prayers to the family. Just saying, just trying to hang with fam, and this happens. Exactly. And here's the thing. Like, they literally could have just called the police or done something rather than leaving him on the side of the road. That's just crazy to me. Okay. And if they had illegal substances on them, why didn't they just dump it? Why didn't they just dump it somewhere? If they were afraid of it, them being found with it on their person or whatever, or found in the car. That's just real crazy. Lillian X says, I've always thought about liquor stores being called spirits. Yeah, that's absolutely why they call them that. Okay, so anyway, with that all been said, I'm going to conclude this broadcast. Listen, you guys, come back at, what time did I set it for? Hold on. Lord, I can't even remember. I think it's going to start at 6:15. I just put the link in the chat for the next broadcast. We've got to talk about this Trey Wright murder. This teenager who was lured to his death by his girlfriend and 5 thugs. Okay, it was about 4 or 5 thugs. And we got to talk about that because it's real crazy. And then also, I'll talk about Jillian Michaels and her remarks about slavery. Okay? I want to talk about that when we come back. So, and also we're going to talk about Trump and the Smithsonian. Yeah, it starts at 6:15. Okay, so anyway, with that all been said, 6:15, I put the link in the chat. Okay, I'm about to conclude the broadcast. I hope you all enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. Peace.
Hit him with that flavor. All in my skin, God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen, why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. That's See right. A bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got